Alright. Welcome to another episode of the We the Fans Network podcast. I think it's episode 11. I don't know. Probably. Once again, as always, you can find us on social media at WeTheFans_Ron. That's me on Twitter. At We The Fans Network on Facebook and Instagram. If you're listening to the audio, go check out the video on YouTube. If you're watching the video, also check out the audio on any podcast app. Rate, review, subscribe, hit the share on social media, like, retweet. It all means something to us, every single one of them. I'm Ron, as we all know by now. I'm the only one who's here for every show. The other guys come in and out. There might be some other people joining us at some point. But today, Mike is here. I pointed to my right because that's where you are on the video screen. How I see it anyway. Boomer is down there.
Easy.
All right. Well, if I look on the one that's actually being recorded, Boomer is over there, and Mike is over there, up there diagonally. So, Mike, where are you on Twitter, Mike?
You can catch me at Boop. There it is. WHOOPTHEIRITIS, and I am brand new to Instagram. Boom went the dynamite.
Brand
I'm
new.
not spelling it.
Boomer in his onesie. Boomer in his holiday onesie. How you doing?
I'm in no onesie, but behind me, in my this side, that is a gorilla onesie. But you can find me on Twitter at Live with Boomer or at TCG, which stands for Triple Crown Boomer, because I've been to 2 Kentucky Derbies and 2 Triple Crowns.
Name given by me. Soon you're going to be Gorilla Boomer.
Yeah.
So, first of all, besides obviously doing this podcast, we all have actual lives, and we don't just sit here and talk about the lives of other people 24 hours a day. So, I'm 99% sure all three of us celebrate Christmas. I know this 33% over here does. How was everybody's Christmas?
It was good. Spent it at my house. First one with my newborn.
Nice.
So that was nice, and everything went well. I didn't burn the food, and
you cooked?
Went to work. Yeah, I did all the cooking.
What'd you cook?
Prime rib. I did a ribeye roast, a glazed ham, mashed potatoes, string beans, broccoli. For 3 people? No, I had my
Look at
my
you.
in-laws and
Look
my
at
mother
you.
and my little sister.
Mr.
Over, so.
Mom. Look at you.
I do it all. He's domesticated.
Yeah. What about you, Boom? What did you do?
I went over to the small town of Carroll where my family's from, actually on the weekend, and I went and had Christmas with my brother and sister and my brother's kid and wife and my parents, and then Christmas Eve we did our whole Drake side of the family.
Your Drake side of the family?
Yeah, my mom's last name is Drake.
I thought all the Drake fans got together and celebrated Christmas together.
Well, there's a Drake college here too, so which kind of Drake are we talking? So then just do the whole opposite side of the family. That's just pretty much a drunken mess, and and then yesterday I didn't really do anything.
Nice. I had a really long weekend, actually. I think I told you guys about my office Christmas party. I was supposed to sing Rudolph. Did I tell you guys about that? Well, since I'm new with the company, they assigned all the new people songs. Okay? So I got assigned Rudolph, and you had to sing it at the Christmas party in the restaurant in front of everybody. So, a couple people spoke to start the party, and then they decided to get into songs. Somebody yelled out my name to start first, and I was supposed to do Rudolph. So I asked, I said, do I have to do the whole Dancer, Prancer beginning part? And they were like, just do the whole thing. I said, okay. So I started off and I said, well, Dancer and Prancer and Donner and Blitzen. And then one of my bosses stands up and goes, all right, it's a joke. Nobody has to sing. So they just made me do it for no reason.
I wouldn't even know the song.
Oh, Boom, I didn't care. I'll stand up and sing in front of 40 people, whatever. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so I didn't have to sing. But I got really drunk that day. Saturday night, I went to Atlantic City.
Yeah, I saw that.
Boomer asked me to win money.
Man.
I didn't lose any, actually. So went really cheap. Sat down at the cheap blackjack tables because it was a last-minute trip in the middle of Christmas. So I didn't have hundreds of dollars to spend. So went to the cheap tables, but I went up $50. I went down 60, up 20, down 40. And then I just came back even because my friend lost all his money, and I decided only to play 2 extra hands, and I came back even, and I left. That was at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty good. And then
Nice.
Monday, Tuesday, spent it with the family, holidays, and that was that. So let's move on to the real reason why we're here. Somebody's beeping. Who's beeping over there?
It's not me. I hear it, though.
Somebody has Windows 98 going off in the house.
No, it's my computer. I don't know how to...
He's getting AIM.
I turned the volume off. I don't know
No.
what's
Messages right now.
Mike, remember the old error notifications that used to pop up on Windows 95? Burp, burp, burp. All right, let's go to the real reason why we're here. The only reason why any of us talk to each other, or else we wouldn't even be friends.
It's true.
The We the Fans podcast. Let's start it. Mike, were you in your championship? Because you weren't here last week. I don't know if you made it or not.
I was in 2, and I am very, very sad to report that I went 0 for 2. I didn't take anything home this year. I won a little bit of money, but very disappointed. Lost by 9 points in one league, and I got completely obliterated in the bigger money league. So
The 9-point one, was it at least close? Is it a good story, or it was just over?
I had Tariq Hill. He had Travis Kelce and a 10-point lead going into that game. So I needed a 70-yard Tariq touchdown, but I got
Kelce to do nothing, and yeah. All right. Well,
Tariq Cohen screwed me. He gave me 2.4 points that week.
that sucks.
Killed me.
Well, me and Zach both made our championship, right? And we were going through the rosters of who we have and who we're playing. Turns out that Zach literally had half of the team that I was playing against. He had Mahomes and 3 or 4 other guys. It was pretty crazy. So we were saying one of us has to win. If you win, that means I probably lost, and if I win, that means you probably lost. Well, I spoke to Zach earlier. Zach lost. So I lost 2.
So you lost.
I lost 2. I also lost.
Ouch.
But it was crazy because it was close all day. Most of my team went at 1 o'clock. 4 o'clock, at the end of the 4 o'clock games, I was up 22 points. And he had Juju at the end of the Steelers game. The Juju fumble was huge for me. Got me 2 points back going into my Sunday night lead. I'm up 22, and all he has is Patrick Mahomes. Oh, man.
That game started slow, too.
Kareem Hunt screwed me. You know why? Because if Kareem Hunt was there, they would be handing the ball off. Now, Mahomes is dumping it off to Williams. And both of his touchdowns were dump-offs to Williams. And that was it. I lost 181 to 169.
Hey, now.
Yep.
So that's what you get for you and Zach talking shit last week about not being in the finals.
I don't understand how...
You should have waited until you won to talk the shit, but you couldn't.
I don't understand how he lost and I lost. It doesn't even make sense. I need to go back and look... Mike, go back and listen to who we said was on each team. He literally... I was playing against him. It was crazy. It was so weird. But it is what it is. What?
It was a funky year.
You were playing against him, but he wasn't playing against you. He probably was going against Aaron Rodgers, who had a ton of touchdowns.
He said the team he went against went off. So
yeah,
I'll be back next year though. Second place, I still win some money.
So you're gonna do the fantasy football playoff on NFL.com or what?
No, but I do want to do the other thing that you said, the global, the year-long thing.
Yeah, that decathlon.
The decathlon.
Or whatever it was.
So,
did you go look at it after I sent it to you?
Nope, I didn't. Boomer, tell Mike about it. Tell Mike what it is.
So pretty much once March Madness is over, it'll start. So it starts from the very first event is the Masters. You pick golfers for every major, but you have to do it before the Masters for every major. If they win, you get points. Every single sporting event there is, you have to pick teams, and they're all seeded, so like you can't get all the best ones. And it's a year-long betting thing. But if you win like individual sports, you get paid out like $300. If you win the whole thing, it's like $40,000. But you have to get in kind of early because it maxes out at 500 people. It costs $150. I mean, I'll go in with you guys and have 2 teams if you want, or if you guys want to just split it between you two. It's all up to you guys how you want to do it, but it's pretty awesome. I mean, every sport's in it. Tennis, soccer. Well, soccer probably won't be because there's not a World Cup this year, but hockey, baseball, all that stuff.
So what do you, like, just use tennis as an example. You're picking one person to win all of the majors?
No, so you have to pick, I think it's 4 tennis players, and then they're seeded. So, like, you can probably take one top guy, one middle guy, 1 or 2 middle guys, depending on how high up in the middle they are, and then one bottom feeder. And you got to hope they win matches. You get points for every match they win, or if they win the whole thing. Like we had Djokovic who won, so we got extra points for that. And like same with majors and golf and stuff like that.
So it's 4 for every sport, or just for?
No, every sport's different. So like right now, NCAA basketball, I think there's 12 teams to pick at the beginning of the year. And then it's all seeded accordingly, so you can't take, a bunch of top favorites. And so you got to find conference champions, and then you also get points if they win in the tournament and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's the only reason I've ever watched hockey in my life. I still didn't watch baseball because of it, but...
Ron, I'm in if you want to...
yeah, no, I do. I was telling him when we used to do the other podcast, I was telling him that I wanted to do it when they did it again, so I'm in. I'm definitely in, and I guess anyone else who wants to be in, right? I mean,
it's capped out at 500. So
all right, so it caps out at 500. So
it maxes out quick. I'm not gonna lie.
But if you want to get in, you got to tweet it or get at one of us on social media. We're not putting any information on here, so it's the only way to do it. All right, so
there you go. Slide in his DMs.
Yeah, that's it.
It's $150 split between however you want to do it.
You want to do 10 people? It's $15 each. 15 people, $10
That's a lot
each.
of minds deciding how to pick some stuff.
Hey, all right, let's get into real football now. No more fantasy stuff. The AFC playoff picture. As it stands, were all of us here when we did the? Yeah, right? When we did our playoff picks? All 4 of us. It was all 4 of us, right? Okay, I thought so. The AFC playoff picture, as it stands right now, is not what I had picked. Who had the Patriots second? Mike and Zach?
No, I think I had a number 1.
Number 1? Yeah, well, I don't like that. All right. Well, as it stands right now, Patriots are number 2. For some reason, I'm getting a bunch of pop-ups. That's what's throwing me off right now.
Those websites.
Oh, Casey's 1, Patriots 2, Texans 3, Baltimore 4, the Chargers 5, and right now would be Colts 6.
Yeah, Colts 6.
Titans, right?
Yeah.
Right off the top of my head, boy.
You're right. You're right. I know, but I was distracted trying to get this thing to work. Okay. And I heard what you said about the websites. This is a work iPad. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not used for those types of things. Right? It's not used for those types of things.
You gotta pay for it when you gotta go get it fixed.
Like, it must have been the guy that had it before me.
Listen, the keys were sticky when I got it. Anyway, so yeah, Chiefs, Patriots, Texans, Ravens, Chargers, Colts right now, Titans, Steelers on the outside, everybody else eliminated. It's kind of a weird scenario though, because even though the Steelers are still in the hunt, they're only in the hunt for their division. They can't make the wild card.
Yeah.
The only way they can make the playoffs right now is with a win against the Bengals this Sunday and a loss for the Ravens against the Browns. So,
I
with
read
that being
they
said,
need a tie as well, Ronnie. They need a Colts-Tennessee tie to get in.
All right.
I don't know. I just read it.
No, I guess you're right, because then if the Steelers win, they'll all be 9-6-1, and I guess the Steelers have the tiebreaker in that scenario. You're talking about two teams fighting for a playoff spot that are playing each other with the Titans and Colts, that game is not ending in a tie. So I think we could rule that out, right? Somebody's either going to be too aggressive and get the win, or too aggressive and get the loss, right? That's probably how the game's going to end. It's either going to be on a big play offensively or a big play defensively. It's probably.
Well, Marcus Mariota's not even playing, so I'm guessing the Colts should frickin' win.
Well, that's a great point. So I changed everything that I just said. I forgot about that. So it's probably going to be a blowout. So there's definitely not going to be a tie. Give me 24-6 Colts. How about that?
Oh, Ron.
Well,
I'm going to say 27-24 Colts.
With no Mariota?
Yeah, defense.
Yeah, 28-17. They'll be up big, give up a score late. That's how. And they'll be up 28-10. They'll give up one of those stupid scores that always happens in the NFL at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Why? You think maybe Luck and the starters come out if they have a big enough lead? Yeah, but that's not a big enough lead.
Tennessee will just have the ball at the end of the game because Indy won't even try and do anything. They'll be just trying to run the clock, and they'll score at the end.
No, I'm sticking with my 6. I don't care. But then let's go back to what we were saying about the Steelers. So Steelers have to beat the Bengals, and the Ravens have to beat the Browns. If they both lose, Ravens take the division, Steelers are out. What are your picks for those two games? Boomer.
There you go.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think the Ravens-Browns game is going to be really, really close. But I think the Ravens squeak it out, as I predicted a few weeks back. I think they get in. And, Ronnie, what was the other game?
Steelers-Bengals.
That's easy. The Steelers win, but it's not going to be enough to get in. And I think Mike Tomlin loses his job, unfortunately. And I hope the Dolphins somehow.
I don't think that Mike Tomlin is going anywhere. And Adam Gase has already been brought back for next year. They're retaining him, so you guys got to live with that. But
I knew that was coming.
I don't think he's that bad of a coach. I just don't think you have that many dynamic players. But besides that,
well, in good news, hang on real quick because you brought it up. Good Dolphins news. In good Dolphins news, Mike Tannenbaum will be fired.
See ya.
So, I'm going with the Ravens to actually decently beat the
Frozen
Browns.
Boomer.
I think the Ravens defenders are really what?
You froze.
Again?
Yeah, that's all right.
No.
It came through. You picked the Ravens.
Right, I think the Ravens will decently beat the Browns. I think Ravens defenders are going to fucking give Baker Mayfield some cheap shots that we'll transition to later, or why. And then Cincinnati will just get rolled, and they will clean house. Everybody will be gone from Cincinnati. They will start over from fresh. I think Andy Dalton's gone, along with the coaching staff, and bring in everybody new, and that's how it's going to work in Cincinnati. And Tomlin's fine.
You think A.J. Green gets held hostage? Receivers usually do.
I think he still has like 1 or 2 years left on the contract anyways.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think he gets held hostage? Do you think they trade him? Do you think they keep him around to try and build a team and he's stuck on a loser for most of his career?
Well, most of his career they've won.
I'm talking about from here on out. How long do you think it's going to take them?
I think it's going to wait and see who they hire and who the quarterback's going to be. AJ Green's not like an outspoken dude, so I think he's going to be fine with whatever.
AJ Green's not an outspoken dude?
No. When have you ever heard him talk?
I haven't heard him talk, but he gets into fights all the time.
Well,
I mean,
that's other people talking shit, him backing it up.
All right, well, I got the Browns and the Steelers both winning. How about that? Because I'm still not a believer in the Lamar Jackson offense. And I won't be. I won't be until he does it consistently for 2 to 3 years.
He's going to get a couple big throws in a playoff game. It's gonna.
Yeah. So did Tim Tebow.
Like him.
So did Tim Tebow. What does that mean?
I thought Tim Tebow should have still had a shot to play quarterback.
You're nuts.
Where?
Don't start that. I think
in my backyard.
But Tim Tebow did not deserve to play more.
No way.
When he
no
had
way.
that pass against Oakland, it was beautiful.
Oh.
Nobody expected that.
You talking about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. You're right.
Get it together.
Beautiful thing. Oakland the previous week.
Okay, fine, but that's also a stupid thing that defenses did and still do, and I don't understand it. Why change the way you play defense at the end of games or in overtime? They went into a prevent defense on Tim Tebow, right? That's all that happened. Is the Steelers gave up that play. The Denver did nothing. Tim Tebow floated it up to him. He grabbed the ball and ran down the field, and what do you know? Demaryius Thomas touchdown. I mean,
it was a slant across the middle.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is he just tossed it to him. There was no defender there. There was nobody there. They're playing a prevent defense on Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he was wide open.
You gonna blame Tim Tebow for that?
No, I'm blaming the Steelers. I'm not giving Tim Tebow credit.
He had to make the pass, though. I mean,
Jesus! You could throw me in there and hit somebody wide open.
Dude, come on. I could throw a slant on a 3-safety prevent defense.
Oh my God! Look, two future Hall of Famers here. I didn't realize who was in the room with.
No, I'm not a future Hall of Famer, but the numbers will be pretty good. Pro Bowler too. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm not a believer in the Lamar Jackson runaround offense yet. Prove it to me a little more. I need to see it for long term. Let's go over to the NFC. Only one spot up for grabs over there. The last playoff spot held by the Vikings. Right now, the playoffs stand as Saints, Rams, Bears, Cowboys, Seahawks, Vikings, Eagles in the hunt. Everyone else eliminated. So this week, the Eagles play the Redskins. I forgot who the Vikings play. If the Vikings play the Bears, thank you. If the Vikings win, they're in. The Eagles need a Viking loss and a win in order to get in. So,
what time is the Vikings game at?
What time is the Vikings game?
Yeah, it's gonna matter.
I think it was at 4 o'clock. They might flex it up.
4:25.
I think it is flexed. I think
4:25 right now.
And what time is the Rams game?
The Rams? Who the Rams play?
Yeah, just the Cardinals. Or the Niners, I don't know. One of them.
The Niners at 4:25.
So, if that game gets flexed, Chicago won't play. If Rams lose, Chicago will play. So, if the Rams win, you can scratch the Vikings right into winning and leaving everybody else out, including the Eagles, who are hot right now.
You're saying if the Bears-Vikings gets flexed to Sunday night and the Rams win, the Bears, all right, because they don't have to play for the 1 seed anymore. I mean the 2 seed.
Yeah, well, they can't get a bye. Yeah,
the 2 seed. I mean,
so they won't play anybody. So this will be like their bye.
Okay, true. Right. Good point. But if they both play at 4:25, the Bears are playing for something, and they'll be scoreboard watching while they do.
I also don't know how much the Bears will. I think they might think that the Rams are going to win because if the Bears play hard and lose against the Vikings, they have to go right back and play them again. So I kind of think they don't want to show a lot. That's
true too, and that actually reminds me of when, and I hate to bring it up, but one of the Jets' AFC Championship runs, they played. I don't know if you remember. Last 2 weeks of the season is how they got into the playoffs. They played a resting Indianapolis Colts team in Week 15, and then they played a resting Cincinnati Bengals team in Week 16. I'm sorry, 16 and 17. I'm thinking fantasy football. 16 and 17. And then they played the Bengals again a week later in the wild card round, and they wound up beating the Bengals 2 weeks in a row. And then and then I think they beat the Patriots and lost to the Steelers, I believe.
I think they play. They want to make sure Trubisky is primed and ready to go. He was injured for a little bit. I think he's only a week or two back from the injury. I think they play hard all the way through, and I think they actually beat Minnesota, but Minnesota still gets in because the Eagles will lose.
Yeah, the Redskins are dying to beat them. The Redskins are dying to beat them.
I think.
Yep. I don't think the Eagles are going to lose. I think I don't know. I don't know anymore about Nick Foles. I really don't. I don't even know what to say about him.
He's playing for a big contract.
Maybe
I fucking hate that guy.
maybe he should be a starter. I really don't even know anymore. I don't know. But the Redskins are dying to kill the Eagles season. So I could definitely see the upset happening, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Eagles are going to take that game. But it'll be close. Let's go into something that happened last week, something that made me think that we might see something that we haven't seen in a long, long time, started by the Miami Miracle. I thought we were going to get 3 Patriots losses in a row because they lost Josh Gordon in the middle of the week. The rest of their receivers has sucked. And what do you know? I was playing Julian Edelman last week, and who showed up to play football for like the first time this year last week? Julian Edelman with like 22 points against me. But Josh Gordon, and it's sad to say, but I think we all kind of knew this was eventually going to happen. They're saying it was more than weed. Actually, I saw a weird article that I actually didn't get to read. If you guys want to give your opinion, it actually said the Patriots...
Well, everything I read, I haven't heard that they've announced anything of what he got busted on and said that he'll be able to come back and play again next year. That's like, I've heard that.
Really? Because what I read is that he's on the commissioner's exempt list, and that whatever he was caught with or tested for or whatever, that it included more than just marijuana. And I'm actually... the headline of this article from ESPN, written by Adam Schefter, so at least it has some legitimacy to it, says, the Patriots attempted to prevent Josh Gordon's slip-up with elaborate security plan. They assigned people to be with Gordon at all times so he could avoid the temptations. I think we knew that already, right? Cleveland did basically the same thing. Somehow, Gordon eluded New England security team during the Patriots' bye weekend on November 18th. Then he was suspended indefinitely this past Thursday for violating terms of his conditional reinstatement under the NFL's drug policy. Gordon, sorry. Earlier Thursday, Gordon tweeted that he was stepping away from football to focus on his mental health, and that's really what it says. It says he went on to thank Belichick and everybody, and that's it. So that article doesn't say it. I did see something. Maybe it was on Twitter or something. I don't know how true it is, but that said it was more than marijuana. But the Patriots tried, and it didn't work. Opinions, thoughts.
He's done.
I think he's done too.
Never played an NFL game in his life.
I think so too.
If you can't play with Belichick on your last shot, you're not playing with anybody.
Agreed. Boomer?
I think that, it sounds in there always is going to be a chance, so I'm not going to say that he's done. But obviously, I think it's more, I don't think it has anything with mental health. I think he just has problems, and that's always his excuse for some reason is that it's his mental health. But too bad, the guy's a great talent, and he pissed it all away. But there's been other people who've done it before, and it'll happen again. Even though one day we'll look back at this when marijuana isn't illegal anymore and be like, that guy lost his career over marijuana. That's stupid. That's true. That's a good point.
If he does come back to play, vet minimum. He's not getting any money.
He made some shekels if he doesn't play a game ever again.
I'm saying if he does come back, nobody's giving him a contract. He's getting a 1-year deal on a veteran minimum.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So let's go on to a topic that Boomer wanted to talk about. So I'll let you start wherever you wanted to start about it. But it's your boy, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, so pretty much what's going down is he's starting to piss off a lot of people and a lot of defensive people. So Baker better get ready to really start backing up his talk because people are going to start taking cheap shots at the guy. Like they said, Cincinnati Bengals next year, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just takes the fine and completely lays him out for what he did. You keep disrespecting teams and you're about to get disrespected yourself. So he's walking a real thin line. And Baker, you look like a douchebag doing it too. I kind of liked you in college, but you're taking it too far. You're the number 1 pick. You're not a walk-on anymore. You're about to get your ass blown up. That's what's about to happen.
Mike, go ahead, because I completely agree with him. So I'll get to that. You obviously don't.
No, he's arrogant. It's going to bite him in the ass. An offensive lineman's going to, scratch their nose on the hike, and the defensive end's going to come flying by and smack him. I don't know if it'll be as deliberate as a clear-cut hit for a fine, but he'll learn the respect the hard way. He'll probably take him a few hits, but I kind of like it. It's a little bit against the grain of how quarterbacks typically act.
And I have no problem with the talking and the attitude, and I'm all for it. But when you start I don't care if he was your old head coach. When you start staring down coaches, I don't care what his record was. I don't care that he only won 3 games out of 40. When you start staring down grown men who have put their time in to be on that sideline, and you've been in the league, you haven't even played. He's been in the league a year, but he hasn't even played a full season yet. He didn't start the first 4 games of the year, right? So he's nobody. He hasn't earned anything. I'm all for the talk. Whatever. Do your thing. That's fine. But there's a level of disrespect that he's touching on right now, and it's getting to be too much. That's what I think. And I think he's going to get his ass handed to him. And I think he needs it.
If you go on YouTube and look it up, too, because they wouldn't put it on regular TV, he was, like, flipping off to taunting Vontae Perfect as well. We got kicked out of the game from concussion. But, yeah, he was doing stuff that they wouldn't even put on TV to that guy. I'm telling you, he's going to get a rude awakening. I'm fine, too. Like you said, they say Philip Rivers is one of the biggest trash talkers there is in football. But he doesn't go and do shit
I think
to people that doesn't have anything to do with.
I think Philip Rivers is a whiner. That's why I don't like him.
Come on, you guys are getting soft. Defensive players talk smack.
Fine.
Kirby left.
I have no problem with talking smack.
Hold on,
Lawrence Taylor did
Mike. If Minka Fitzpatrick caught an interception and then stared down a coach on the opposite sideline, I would say the same thing. Who are you? You haven't earned shit.
He's looking at the guy. I mean,
come on.
He talked about his mother or something.
Yeah.
He's staring at him. It's competition.
He was actually looking at the person behind him. He was looking over his shoulder.
Football, you did that to any of my coaches, I'm telling you right now, I'd be cheating.
You get rocked. Yup. You get a nice shoulder check. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Let's get into another topic brought to you by Boomer. Alabama and Clemson. Looking at some suspensions in their bowl games.
Yep.
So tell me about it.
Clemson, top 5 draft pick. He defensive lineman. He got popped for PEDs along with 2 other guys who are pretty good, but they're not starters like him. So this could be him suspended for the rest of the college football season. This could hurt his draft stock. He might not even be a first-round pick. I mean, depending on what they're going to look at sample B now. They already looked at sample A, which was failed for PEDs. They're going to check out sample B and then come back and talk about it. So now Clemson's down some good players. I think even the guy that would be backing him up got busted too. So now Notre Dame, I think, has a shot. I don't think Clemson was that great anyways. They played in the worst conference there is in college football besides the Pac-12. So I don't think that they were that great anyways, but now they have Notre Dame has a legit shot to win. Alabama suspended their offensive tackle or guard starter, and then 3 other players for team rules. They never really specified it or not. But yeah, so this is already kind of shaking up the playoffs.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Clemson. Sorry. Yeah. So you think Oklahoma has a chance?
No. They have the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Bama's going to go up and down the field on them.
All right,
Notre Dame versus Bama.
And I'd rather have that than Clemson, but I hate Notre Dame. I'd love to watch Notre Dame go and get murdered again like they did, 2010 against them.
Aren't they didn't they go undefeated this year? Or no?
Yeah, but, I mean, they're not that good. They were undefeated that year. They got murdered too.
Hypothetically speaking, they beat Alabama, right? And they're the #1 champion. Do they earn some respect for you moving forward and coming out of that conference? Or
if they beat Alabama,
they win it all. They beat Alabama.
All right. So Mike, I don't care what team it is, and Boomer, correct me if I'm wrong. If any team was to beat Alabama, they would have to earn respect no matter who they were, Notre Dame or anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, only way I would say that I wouldn't give him respect to say Tua got hurt and Jalen Hurts, who is an American quarterback. Even though he won in the SEC game, don't know how Georgia let that happen. But if Tua didn't play at all, I really wouldn't give him that much credit just because I think Tua is that big of a playmaker for Alabama, and that's the main reason they're actually good. Their defense isn't as great as it had been in the past, but their offense is better than it has been in the past, and that's why Alabama is so great this year.
If you want to know what happened with Georgia, you got to wait for the other guy to be here. Ask him.
I will ask him because I know it riles him up. But you should never let Daniel Hurts beat you if you're a good team.
All right. Moving on to the last topic of the day. Boomer, I know you don't watch baseball, but you may have an opinion on this just because it's so stupid, okay? Mariano Rivera.
What is the question? I agree. All voting is stupid, but go ahead.
Mariano Rivera is up for the Hall of Fame this year. He's obviously going to get in. That's not the question. That's not the argument. The question and the argument is, should Mariano Rivera, number 42 of the New York Yankees, the greatest closer of all time, not arguable, be the first unanimous induction into the Hall of Fame? Mike, why not, Mike?
Because I am a scorn.
No. That's not a reason. I need a real reason.
And if Chipper can't get in unanimous, neither can Mariano, and neither Jeter.
I hate that argument.
Jeter definitely doesn't deserve it.
I don't agree with it. It's all
Jeter
based on a
unanimous.
writer that likes Matt Schumacher's freaking interview, so they're going to give Matt Schumacher a freaking a vote instead of somebody who deserves it, like a Chipper Jones, Mariano Rivera.
Listen.
Just the way it is.
Listen to me, okay? If Mariano Rivera gets in, let's say he is the first person inducted unanimously, right? That's not a knock on Chipper or anyone else, all the other guys that probably deserve to be in unanimously. That's not a knock on them. What it is it means that the trend is changing and it's finally correcting itself. That's what it means. It means it's a turn for the better. So now guys that do deserve it, and I don't know any off the top of my head that still need to get in from like today's era, but they will be able to get it. Mariano will be the tide that changes everything. It's not going to happen though because there's one moron reporter who's not going to do it, which I think is ridiculous because the only reason they don't do it unanimously is just to say that there isn't someone unanimous. There's no real reason behind it. These guys are just morons. And yes, Boomer, the voting sucks. Every voting system sucks. The government voting system sucks. The baseball voting system sucks. All Hall of Fame voting sucks. Pro Bowls, All-Star games, they all suck. But you can't have qualifiers. And Mariano Rivera should be the first unanimous inductee in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I disagree.
I agree with you, Boomer.
Only reason I'll say that he shouldn't is so when Steph Curry was the first ever unanimous MVP, I'm okay with it because he did things that nobody's ever done ever. And he plays all the time. No,
I'm talking about MVP.
Let me talk before you bitch about your Yankee fandom, all right? Mariano Rivera, there could be games for a long time he wouldn't even pitch. So I think to break the seal, it needs to be somebody who is a batter, a fielder who is just great. And Derek Jeter's not it because he's
no, it's not Derek Jeter.
Yes, I agree. Ken Griffey Jr. would have been perfect.
So
you can't do it with Mariano Rivera.
Boomer, I have a question for you.
Just came in for saves.
I have two questions for you. Okay, do you know how many men have walked on the moon?
I don't know, like 5?
12. You know how many men have scored on Mariano Rivera in the postseason?
Oh my God.
11. 11
against the Red Sox for them to win their first World Series championship.
And Arizona. Don't forget Arizona.
There you go.
Don't forget 1996. Okay? Don't forget 1997. 1996.
Oh my God. Typical
No, I'm sorry. 1997. No, we lost in 97. No, I'm sorry. They've been to so many I can't keep count.
No, wait.
27. 27.
Oh, I didn't know that.
27. But you want to bring up the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox, how about when they won in 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009? Are we not going to bring any of that up? But that's not the point. The point is that this guy has a ridiculous ERA. I'm going to go into it right now. He's got under a 1 ERA in the World Series, okay?
He doesn't deserve to be the first unanimous person. He hardly ever played. It has to be a position player with good batting and everything. Other than that, I don't give a crap. And I agree that people should have already been unanimous. Don't get me wrong. I think the voting is stupid, and it's stupid. It's never unanimous.
Wait,
also,
hold on.
Hall of Fame, so I don't care.
Let me just give you some numbers, okay? I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but you're like almost like an outsider looking in with baseball, all right?
No, I don't care about it.
In 16 years,
he knows enough about the Yankee fans gloating.
Boomer,
right?
listen.
The first unanimous vote into the Football Hall of Fame because he's great at kicking. It's the exact same thing.
No. That's completely different. And Adam Vinatieri should be unanimous, but he shouldn't be the first one ever. How about he's got the most points scored all time? Come on, stop it. In 16 years, 32 series. 32 series? I don't know how to say that.
Series?
I don't know. In the postseason series, 32 of them, okay? He has a .7 ERA. That's unheard of.
How many innings did he
Yeah, but in a series, he might have only
How many innings? 141.
He pitched a whole 141 innings.
That's a lot. For the postseason, that's a lot for a starter in the postseason. That's a lot for a starter in a postseason. 141 innings.
Yeah, a whole season of only pitching like 2 innings at a time.
Wait, think about it.
You take the best pitcher in the MLB and let him pitch 1-2 innings every game, and then step out, he'll do the same shit.
Wrong.
Right.
This guy has a cutter like no one else can throw. Okay. Mike, come on. You gotta back me up a little bit here, Mike. Come on.
Listen, Mariano Rivera is an all-time great. He
not arguable greatest closer ever.
He was a special
field goal kicker.
No, he's not. He has so much more value than a field goal kicker.
He's a field goal kicker who punted.
No way.
He also loved to catch fly balls in the outfield for the
Yeah, all right. Take it easy now,
it.
okay? Are you referring to when he got hurt? Is that what you're referring to?
No. In general, just his whole career, he always did that.
You're right. He got hurt shagging fly balls and then missed the season. Come on.
He missed the whole season from that?
Yeah, but he did it his whole career.
He had a really bad injury.
But he missed the whole season from shagging balls? Like, got hurt? How?
I think it was his knee. I think he twisted his knee up. I really don't remember.
He landed wrong on it.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up batting stats because I'm curious.
Like the old kicker. What was his name? He was on the Dolphins.
Gronkowski.
No, somebody kicked a field goal and then he jumped up.
Celebrated. Martin Gramatica. That's it.
Gramatica. That's what it was.
That's like what's his name? He wasn't on the Dolphins, but when he did it, but he was on the Dolphins at one point. Gus Frerotte. Did he give himself a concussion?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Or was that Trent Green? One of them scored a
touchdown. Is that your pitcher is a field goal kicker in football terms, and he doesn't deserve anything?
All right, well, we're done here because obviously this isn't going anywhere.
Went south real fast.
I thought I was going to get more support from Boomer out of this, to be honest with you, but
nope.
Wow.
If you would have said somebody else, and don't tell me anybody, but
no,
Derek Jeter doesn't deserve it.
Listen, hold on. Stop.
He gets 90%.
You two are the only ones bringing up Derek Jeter. I never said Derek Jeter's name.
I know you didn't. I just said I hate the lovable thing about Derek Jeter. He wasn't even good at defense, man. His stats are wild.
He was a compiler. People talk about Craig Biggio. Derek Jeter takes the cake on that one.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. Can we end it now? I can't do this.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. You got the
Derek Jeter wasn't good at baseball. Why? Because ESPN had him ranked as the 30th shortstop. Please I'm done.
I don't give a shit about ESPN. Go look at his defensive stats. They're terrible.
Do you know how
he had a weak arm too?
Yeah.
He had a weak arm. That throw. He patented that throw with a weak arm? I can't do this. Made spectacular plays. The little flip to get Jason Giambi out. The catch and then diving.
Overrated play.
What? Overrated play?
Dude. Like the old wrestlers, they used to cut their forehead.
Get out of here! What do you think that was set up?
Stands and cut himself.
What do you? So Jason Giambi was in on it? So what you telling me?
They're buddies.
It's a work?
They played on the same team.
Yeah, after that they played on the same team.
All I know is Derek Jeter is completely overrated in his whole entire career.
I agree. Boomer, 1,000,000%. That's as a baseball fan, Ronnie, not as a Yankee hater.
With that said,
I'm neither. I'm just speaking the truth here.
I can't.
I watched baseball as a kid.
It's over.
Preach.
It's the end of the show.
Yeah.
I can't. It's ending. It's over. It's ending now. See you next week.
This is a perfect
We'll be
ending.
back next
Yankee
week.
gets scored.
Let's plug everything real quick.
Yankee fan gets attacked. We're going to punch ahead. Punch ahead.
Yankee mob coming after the We the Fans guys.
So this is now going to be called the I'm the One and Only Fan at podcast because it's just going to be me starting next week.
Victim shaming.
Just One Fan. That's what it's going to be called. The Just One Fan podcast.
Fan Network.
Get us on Twitter. I am at WeTheFans_Ron. At Mike is
Whoop, there it is. Twitter. And Boom went to Dynamite Instagram.
You guys are stressing
And I
me
am
out.
just at Live with Boomer or at TCB.
And we are also on Instagram and Facebook at We The Fans Network. Check out the audio, video, social media, all of it. DM us if you want to be in the, what is it called? This year-round sports decathlon spectacular? That's what it's called now. So anyway.
It's just called the decathlon of sports is what it's called.
It's called the year-long sports decathlon spectacular on this show.
Yeah, alright.
So, if you want to be part of that, that caps off at 500. I should probably get on it myself, me and Mike, sometime soon. But we'll see you next week. Maybe Zach will be here. See you next year. It is the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Peace. We're out.
Happy New Year.
What? I'm gonna be fucked up.
Can't wait for the videos.
Mike, you weren't here last week, and if Boomer has done like crushing cans or whatever he's doing over there. That's what that is? How sensitive is that microphone? Jesus. So, yeah, Mike, you weren't here last week, but me and Zach both made our championship in our respective leagues, and it actually turned out... Boomer, is that your dog?
Oh my God. Is he licking his balls? What is he doing?
He's seriously all the way across the house drinking water. You can hear that?
Dude, I hear...
the whistle.
He's on the other side of the house right now.
Oh my God. Oh, there's going to be a lot of editing in this one. This one may not go out till Saturday. No, but